Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a lighter that I believe I had neglected to make a couple of videos for that I thought I had already made. When I went in search of those videos to see exactly where I had left you guys on this lighter earlier this morning, I'm not sure that we ever did an unboxing. There was a repair video where we cleared out the spare flint compartment of the dusty, degraded old flint. But other than that, I think this may be the first time that you guys, the Dependable Flame audience, are seeing this lighter. This is a really nice lighter, not in perfect mint condition or anything like that, but in really good condition, and I don't believe that it's ever been used. In the eBay listing for this lighter, when I purchased it, it was a buy it now listing, and in those pictures the file roller pin screw here was elevated in the slot where it belongs, but it was not threaded in as it should have been. So you could see it sticking up out of the hole where it fits in there, which made me think that there could be some kind of problem with it. But when the lighter arrived, when I opened the package, the screw was threaded all the way down, so I suspect that the seller noticed that as they were packaging it to ship it, and they usually, if there's not a problem, they'll usually just run right down with the pressure of your thumb or finger, so I assume that's what happened. Anyway, there is some wear. You can see some minor evident wear here to the snuffer, as that has been actuated and also probably banged around here and there, so you've got some scuffs, scratches, that sort of thing. But this is not mainly my purpose for this video, is giving you the condition report and all that, because I don't really suspect that this is going to be the listing video for this lighter. This is more of your introduction to this lighter. As for the time being, this will be part of my personal collection, although I would say that this one will probably be sold a little bit more quickly than some of the others have been, as I don't really have any connection to Pan American Airlines. I do, however, already have a couple of Pan American Airlines Cygnus lighters. Here you see the very tall, what I would think you would call a table or club model. It has been suggested that these were used on the plane. You'd have a much longer fuel life. There you can see from the bottom here to the top of the lighter is just about 6 inches. Just about 6 inches exactly, it looks like. But you have a Pan American Airlines advertising graphic here, which shows the globe with lines dissecting it, an airplane flying past, then the Pan American text. Having a little bit of trouble getting the right light here on the set to give you a good view of that. That is a pretty common Pan American Airlines advertising graphic, as is the one on this parts lighter that we have. And if you'll note, I think those are pretty closely matched as far as the tone, being gold tone. There you can see the globe again in blue with the lines that cut across it and up and down it, however you would say that. Dissecting it maybe was a better word. But this one has the words Pan Am on the actual graphic. No other words or advertising on that lighter. This one that we just acquired, or it's been a couple of months ago now, the one that we're just now getting around to making this sort of video on, it says PAA for Pan American Airlines. It has the globe in blue again with those lines, but it looks as though it is being borne along by wings, which are also in blue. And then you have the PAA in red paint. Definitely see some scratches, scuffs to the finish. Maybe some minor paint loss there, I don't know, perhaps. We've got the flint tension spring rolled back a little bit so that we are not making contact with the file roller and therefore scratching up the end of this flint spring tip, which may have had the file roller rolled against it a time or two. It does not look like it is perfect, but it's also not necessarily been ground concave like you see so often with flint spring tips. There you see your flint spring carriage, and no flint in it. There was some dust contamination and maybe even some rust contamination of some sort. Some rusty looking contamination anyway, but if you look at that lighter, you see what looks like maybe just a little bit of dust contamination to the wick. And I may have contributed to a little bit of that, mopping that out with a common household disinfectant wipe and a blunted toothpick. But I was just trying to mop out the dust, and like I said, I may have discolored the wick a little bit myself, but certainly doesn't look as though it has ever been lit. Run our flint spring carriage back in there into place. See how clean the entire snuffer looks. And like I said, I did mop it out, but there was no scrubbing or... But you do see some, looks like there's some corrosion or buildup here, so it's possible that it had been used, but I don't think so. That's the decision I need to make at this point. Do I want to put a flint in here, fuel it up, fire it up, and use it for a bit, or do I just want to go ahead and sell it as new, with the caveat that there is some contamination to the wick. The wadding looks nice and clean. And then of course you saw the video where we cleaned out the spare flint compartment of the degraded, dusty old flint. And there is the good spare flint that is in there now, along with the rubber seal that is on the nice knurled fuel cap, which is marked Cygnus Pat 364149. Very nicely knurled and in good condition. And other than a different Pan American Airlines advertising logo, this lighter appears to me to also be a little bit different tone, more of a copperish or deeper gold type tone. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's my eyes, maybe I'm not really seeing what I'm seeing. But it sure appears to me as though the one on the left is a deeper, more copperish tone than the sort of flat gold tone of this parts light. So a very clean lighter, which does show some imperfections. But really the purpose of this particular video was to show you the advertising graphic in comparison with the other Pan Am advertising graphics that we have in our personal collection. And that's where this lighter is going to reside for the time being, although I would expect within short order, maybe a month or two, I will be wanting to sell this one right here on top. Until next time.